Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thoughts, you can change your life.
She is an agile coach, a business trainer, a certified Scrum Master with strong commitment to transformation, diversity, and people development. She is also a life coach and author, a podcaster, and the founder of Africa and Beyond Women Empowerment Forum. She is our pace setter today. My name is Milka, and this is the Pace Setters. A pace setter is a role model, someone you can look up to, or a Kenyan encouraging other Kenyans here in Germany or beyond. But why is Maureen our pace setter today? Who is she? Let's get to know more about Maureen.
How did I came here and how or what my journey has been since I came to Germany? I came here with a visiting visa, back then visiting my auntie. It's been a while, in the year 2003, so it's a while since I was in Germany. And of course, then I had the possibility to meet my ex-husband, to whom we then got married. And unfortunately, the marriage didn't last for long, but I had the possibility to stay in Germany afterwards. I had my status, let me say, settled. And still, when I was married, I was up to searching for Ausbildung. That was my definition of how I wanted to grow. My status was good, and I was like, okay, with my recognition or certificate being recognized as Realschulabschluss and the college I was in Kenya as a secretary, I wanted to continue the path. That's why for me it was either I become Kauffrau, Kaufmann, whatever it is to do with that. And that's why Ausbildung was important then for me in these sectors. And it took me really a while, over 6 years of writing CVs, going for interviews, watching up and down, how does it work? And definitely many no's, like really, really, really many no's. And like I said in the previous video, then of course I got the chance when I thought everything else was not possible anymore, like a pregnant mom with a child, later as a single mom, who's gonna employ you and who's gonna give you an Ausbildung. That was my mindset back then. But it happened, and I really found the opportunity and took the opportunity. Entering the Ausbildung in the NBV sector, and it was with a little bit more hindrance, let me say, because on the second year of my Ausbildung, my child, my son, got diagnosed with leukemia, that's the blood cancer. Of course, it was the most shaking experience I ever had in my life. And the question was, should I continue with the Ausbildung, break it, or pause it? Pausing was like for a year and you have to continue. Because the therapy was supposed to be over 5 years, and without telling you if your child's going to be healed or the process will work or not, there wasn't a possibility to pause as per my perspective back then. So, and dropping after 6 years of search, getting a possibility as a single mom with a child that is sick, it wasn't just in the room. It wasn't just something I thought of, because I was like, no, I can't just drop it. So it only stayed, I'm going to continue. And that was the decision I made, communicated it to my company, communicated it to the school. And I'm really thankful because the company, social workers dealt with all the background stuff for me to be able to drop the company part, the block of the company, because we had like a block lessons in the company and at school. So these was dropped out for me so that I got the chance to stay with my son in the hospital. The school part had to be moved on so that I get my certificate at the end of the day, because you have certain amount of lessons, or let me say lessons that you have to have done to be able to be led to do the exams. So school was a must, job was less dropped out. And that allowed me, of course, to take care of my son in the hospital and be able to visit the school blocks. And of course, a year later, I was successfully certified as Kauffrau for Bureau Communication, and also got the chance to stay in the company where I am still today. Then afterwards, my son got healed. Let me say the 5 years later, we got the information cancer-free, or of course leukemia-free, and that's something we are really thankful for. After that, the career ladder went further. From Kauffrau for Bureau Communication, I got, of course, different jobs in different, let me say, branches inside the company. Allowed me to, of course, know different areas where my strength is, and of course the company had the possibilities to do further studies, and that's where I was like, okay, I have to move the career ladder a little bit further, and did further studies, and was able to do another Ausbildung or Weiterbildung to an agile coach, and that's who I am until today. It's been now 8 years since then, 2017. And that's my journey to a career, let me say, from a corporate assistant, who I was back then, and able to do some further studies to become an agile coach, and currently also have my side business as a life and purpose coach, mental health practitioner, and advocate. I am an author and a broadcaster. So this thing, I would say the birth was me being open to wanting to learn more and wanting to go deeper into the coaching spaces and see what one can change when you have someone who just listens and sees some more potential in you than maybe the whole surrounding might be telling you.
Immigrants face a wide range of topics that significantly impact their lives, including integration, social adjustments, and legal status. These challenges vary depending on individual circumstances. In Germany, for example, learning the language is essential for communication, integration, and accessing services. Another thing is legal status, visas, and residency permits. These are fundamental for a stable life, and without a legal status, most immigrants they fear deportation, leading to depression and stress. You and I need a Maureen in our lives. We all need Maureen in Germany. Alongside her corporate work, she empowers individuals, especially Africans in the diaspora and other marginalized communities. And why? To navigate in life transitions, to embrace their identity, to rebuild resilience, and also to thrive. And all this while prioritizing mental wellness as a foundation for sustainable growth.
What do you think when you hear the word integration? Integration isn't just about learning a language or the language or even getting a job. It's about being seen. It's about being safe. It's about being whole as a human being. I came here in Germany with a dream, but no one warned me about the silence, the stairs, the unwritten rules. This is my story, but it's also our story of identity, of racism, of resilience, and what it really takes to belong, to be seen. Integration, can it really work? Coming soon on Amazon, both in English and German. Read it, share it, and let's talk about what no one talks about.
The first few years in a foreign land are always difficult. Let's say the first 1 to 2 or maybe 3 years to some people. It takes such a long time to settle down, believe me. If you live in a big city, you're lucky because you can meet some Africans or maybe Kenyans who can share with you their stories and their journey and tell you what to do. If you live in a village, it's a little bit unfortunate because finding a fellow African or a Kenyan may be difficult. Maureen Burgstahler is a Kenyan, came to Germany in 2003 under the visitor's visa. She got married. Yes, that's great. Maureen started looking for a vocational training, or you call it Ausbildung, in Germany. After so many rejections, she finally got it. But something happened. She got pregnant, and only to learn that the child was sick, leukemia or cancer. Here she is. She has gotten a vocational training, something she had been yearning to have for a long time. And then she gets a child who is sick. At the same time, she separates with the husband. It's really traumatizing. It can lead to depression. It can lead to a lot of stress. Can it be the reason why Maureen works with people? Maybe we'll get to know more about that later. But now, Maureen, I just want to know your journey on getting this house building. How did you get this vocational training?
The story is a little bit too long. After staying for over 6 years in Germany, I was married and I was in the search for house building because I had a secretarial college course back home, and of course I wanted to add on these in the spaces of German. I couldn't study because my marks were not so good back home or back then when I finished my high school, and I wasn't aiming to study but aiming to get an Ausbildung. So the search was on for over 6 years of my stay in Germany, and when I thought all things could break up because I was pregnant, separated, divorced, or processing the divorce, sitting at an office somewhere in Germany. I went through some magazines you find in the office, and there was a magazine, or rather, let me say, a newspaper. And while I was going through it, I had something just written there that there is a project in my town, that's Karlsruhe, that is being initiated by CU today. That's Christliche Gemeinde Deutschland, oder Christliche Jungen Deutschland. That was all about it, and they are trying to initiate this project in Karlsruhe, working together with companies who are searching for young parents who can either work in the company in part-time or do a vocational college, an Ausbildung in part-time as well, because they saw a focus on helping parents get the part-time into the part-time spaces. So what I did, me being pregnant, I just cut off that piece of information, and because I had a feeling that could be something for me. So what I did, I called the office, asked them, like, what do I need to be part of the project? They told me, okay, come along, bring your papers, your CVs, what you've done until today, and we'll just check it out. So who was I? I went there with all my papers, but mark you, I was still pregnant, which means I wasn't still a parent. So what they told me, they hold my papers, and they told me, okay, because we don't know how this is gonna be for you after you get your baby, how you're gonna handle it. I was in the process of divorce, being a single mom. So they were like, okay, you just call us if you're interested after you getting your child and you know that you can cope with everything by yourself, and you've just, like, let me say, organized everything. So what I did, got my baby. 3 months afterwards, I called and got an appointment to go over. I think they didn't expect me to return, let me say like that. So what I did, I went there and told them, yes, my baby is out, I got everything organized, how can we continue? So we continued and wrote some CVs to the companies that they had the cooperation with or partnering with, so that they can take a step forward. So all the CVs were sent to the to different companies, and then we were prepared. So because it was like kind of a program, we were prepared. The people who were there, how to go approach the companies, what to say, like kind of a preparation before the day where we got to the offices to present ourselves. So this happened, and one of the companies my CV was sent to was NBW, and there I got my first Vorstellungsgespräch. I don't know what the name is now in English. Vorstellungsgespräch, and I went there. We were 8 people from the program, and did well. We presented ourselves, and afterwards 2 of 8 were taken for these, let me say, trial in this company, as I came to realize it later. So in that case, I got my vocational college Ausbildung in Teilzeit with my current company, NBW. So that's my process. Stay there, work there, and still working there.
In my opinion, careers that involves a direct service to people, for example, healthcare, the nurses, education, the teachers, social work, these are careers that are called, people in these careers are called. And you find that these people, they experience such a deep sense of satisfaction, let's say fulfillment from their work. And this feeling, sometimes it aligns with their values and passions. Now, I think Maureen is one of them. She has a calling. She's a coach. She's involved in educating immigrants here and there, how to integrate in the system, coping with stress and depression. But it's better we hear from the horse's mouth. Maureen, why coaching? Why do you do a lot that involves immigrants and Africans?
The journey began earlier when I decided to, change my career from a corporate assistant into an agile coach. That was the initial, purpose aligning, starting to find place inside me, like the within job. Because back then my boss just asked me, what would you like to do most? And I said I like working with people. I just love helping people, knowing I could be a help in a path of somebody, be it via giving some methods or just some words that can really encourage this person to move to the next level. And that's why initially I began the further studies to become an agile coach, scrum master, business trainer, like all into dealing with people. And then why now then the life coaching? Because this was in a business context, and I used to deal with leaders, or I still deal with leaders, and deal of course with team members, individual coaching, workshops, decision making when it comes to which methods are we going to use, how can we change the organization to fit the needs in the market outside there. So when I got my second baby and I was on maternity leave, of course you have time to think. And I had worked as an agile coach for like 3.5, almost 4 years. And there began my reflection, like what is missing. I had a feeling something is missing. And then I talked to myself. I called myself on a conference and just had a discussion with myself. What could it be that it's missing? I am living my dream. I have found my purpose. I'm working with people, and that's what I really wanted initially. And I discovered that the business level doesn't offer me the depth I needed. And being part of the system as a coach or an agile coach didn't help me either, because when I had the one-to-one coachings or just like talking to the leaders, the trust was different, because I get ordered from the leader to make a change, a transformation in a department. So when you get to from the leader, then you get to the team, and then you have to talk to individuals, see how the team together and individual discussion, and see how you can bring the transformation or make the change. The trust misses a little, or maybe say it goes with the cost of trust for the depth of transformation. And I was like, I would like to go deeper with people. Like, I had one-to-ones when somebody tells me, where my problem is, it has nothing to do with the work space. It has nothing to do with it has something to do with my private life. And we don't talk about private life in German spaces when it comes to business. So me, Maureen, as a coach, I would have loved to help these people, but I couldn't because we have a business agenda. So that has nothing to do with the agenda that we have. So that felt really bad for me. And that's why I wanted to go deeper. On me going deeper, I decided to, beside my main job as an agile coach, scrum master, business trainer, I decided to open my side business, and that's the life and purpose coaching, to be able to go deeper with people. Actually, that's the E, to be able to bring the transformation that is really needed, the change that is really needed, and the opportunity to go deeper and not just stay at the business level, but at the personal level of change. And for me, that's where real transformation happens. That's where real change happens. So when you see the person as an individual with all the things they bring, and not just a bisection of the things they might bring on the table. And for me, that's finding my purpose. It lined up because I really wanted to talk to people or help, whatever it is, define the help in different ways, and that's why the coaching. And I have my business where I can stay at the business level with my company, and I fulfilled my depth or the need of going deeper with people in the case that I started my side business as a life and purpose coach. And these extended to be a mental health advocate, extended to be a value expert. And in that space, I have the feeling I can really transform individuals or help the individuals transform what and gain the potential they really want to have from the individual basis and not from the business basic.
If you're a Kenyan living in Germany and you have an initiative that supports other Kenyans here in Germany or in Kenya, send me an email and be the next best setter.